Do it again.
More lose.
Yep.
Yep,
That's how it goes.
That's the thing. I need to do it. I think I was off Friday.
Yeah.
Between Friday and now, I've sucked the leaves up in my yard twice.
Jeez.
Still leaves all over my yard.
Yeah.
We'll do it again today. 51 in Chattanooga, 50 in Cleveland, 46 in Altamont. We are so boring. What'd you do this weekend? Rake some leaves.
Clean the house.
Lori had the most exciting weekend. She said, yeah, I cleaned a floor. It was really great. Yeah. Okay, good. 46 in Murphy.
Boring life.
And there we go. A little patchy fog heading up into the Blue Ridge Mountains, and might see a little of that heading into the valley, but most of it will stay up in the Blue Ridge. Getting some golf on today. Well, why not? Start your week with a golf game. I can't think of a better way. 55 by noon and 60 by 3 p.m. And skies are going to be clearing, so if you're waiting for the sun to come out, get out there about lunchtime and you should have a good time of it. We're going to have nice, comfortable, cool fall-like temps pretty much all week long. No rain until the weekend, but may see some rain on Saturday. So we'll have details on that coming up in just a minute.
All right, David, thank you so much.
An early morning crash shut down part of Interstate 24 in Marion County. It happened around 1 o'clock this morning. A cargo fire was reported on the eastbound side near mile marker 144. Right now, one lane is still closed. The Tennessee Highway Patrol and fire crews are on the scene. No word yet on the cause of that crash.
And Lori, just as you say that, sorry, this isn't what we're supposed to be talking about next, but a cargo fire just occurred 75 northbound in Bradley County.
Oh, wow.
Going to cause a lot of disruption until about 7 o'clock this morning. Of course, we'll find out more information and pass it along to you. Big story now, Butch Jones is out of a job. Jones and the University of Tennessee have officially parted ways. Channel 3's Jill Jelnick is in Knoxville with the latest on what this means for the team.
It was a very long Sunday on Rocky Top. Yesterday morning marked the end of an era as well as the start of a new one. The University of Tennessee and Butch Jones parted ways after 5 years. While Jones led the Vols to a 34-27 overall record, along with 3 straight winning seasons for the first time in 12 years. However, Jones failed to make it to the SEC championship game and lost 10 of his last 12 SEC matchups. Athletic Director John Curry met with the Vols football program Sunday afternoon and commended them for their commitment to the program, as well as encouraged them to keep their focus on this weekend's game against LSU. He then held a press conference with the media where he praised Coach Jones's poise throughout the process. However, when it comes down to it, he did not meet the standards of the Vols football program.
Well, we're standing here right now because we haven't won enough. Ultimately, we have to make the decision we believe is the best interest of the student athletes we have at the University of Tennessee right now. The student athletes who are approaching graduation, some of whom are playing their last 2 games in Neyland Stadium over the next couple days. I understand the enormous responsibility that goes along with leading a process like this. I understand what's at stake.
Curry also mentioned that he will not be hiring a separate search firm. And when it comes to money, there is no problem for the next head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. In Knoxville, Jill Jelnick, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports.
And here in Chattanooga, many people are reacting to what this all means for the future of UT's football program. Dalton High School football coach and former Vols football player Bill Mayo says he was impressed with how Jones spent time stabilizing the team and recruiting. So who is the next coach? Well, that's the big question, and many names are being thrown around right now. One that has Mayo's attention is ESPN broadcaster and former Oakland Raiders coach John Gruden.
That would be kind of exciting to have a big personality like that. He would do outstanding on the recruiting trail, and I think he would really rack up a lot of great recruits.
Mayo says the team needs continuous support from fans now more than ever.
Well, today in Grundy County, the school board will discuss hiring a football coach. This comes after 5 football players were charged with attempted aggravated rape. The last coach was transferred to a new position. The board will also discuss missing concessions and gate money. That meeting is tonight at 6 o'clock Central at Grundy County High School.
In Ottawa, a neighborhood is still cleaning up this morning after several homes were vandalized. Neighbors are upset that mailboxes, cars, and even a police cruiser were all spray painted with obscene words and drawings. One person said all 4 tires were slashed on his car. Some say they want all the damage done to be paid for.
That's not a prank. This is personal damage. They need to be held accountable in some form or fashion. Community service for every house that was damaged, that'd suit me.
Now on Friday, the school resource officer at Central High School found 2 students with spray paint. They were not arrested, but were told charges are pending in juvenile court.
Chattanooga police are searching for a man accused of raping a woman in the North Shore area. Officers say it happened around 7:30 Saturday morning. The victim told police she was sleeping when the suspect broke into her home through a window. If you have any information that can help investigators, call Chattanooga Police.
Here's a look at what's happening today around the Scenic City. Chattanooga 2.0 will hold an early education discussion with First Lady Chrissy Haslam. It's at the Camp House tonight at 6 p.m. Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson will be there as well. And at the Bessie Smith Hall, the Chattanooga-Hamilton County branch of the NAACP is holding a race relations symposium. That starts tonight at 5:30.
Also happening today, Channel 3 kicks off our 33rd annual Share Your Christmas food drive.
Yep, it's an effort to end hunger in our community, and our Tim Pham joins us live in the studio to tell us all about it. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, good morning to both of you. This is one of the longest running food drives around. Share Your Christmas started just 2 years after the food bank first opened in our area, and starting today, Channel 3 is partnering with several organizations to help end hunger in the Tennessee Valley. Donations will be accepted on Friday, December 8th from 4:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. at several locations, and if you can't make it down that day, you can still give online or drop off non-perishable food items at participating Food City, Walmart, and Walmart Neighborhood Market stores. The food bank is challenging groups, schools, or businesses to start their own food drives now to help people in need.
Let us know that you want it to be for Share Your Christmas. So the day of Share Your Christmas, which is on Friday the 8th of December, you can take your food items that you actually get during your food drive we'll be at the Tennessee Pavilion here in Chattanooga. We have a location in Cleveland and a location in Dalton.
Last year, Share Your Christmas brought in about $54,000, which is enough to provide more than 300,000 meals for families in our area. We'll also be collecting food in Dalton and Cleveland as well, and all of those donations will stay in those communities and people that need it most. You can find more details on WRCBTV.com and inside our mobile app. Live in the studio, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Tim Pham, thanks for that. A lot of fun we had out there when we got our tour of the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. And we're going to showcase that coming up, I think, at the 6 o'clock hour. Even a little competition, David Carnes stirred up with everyone who could box up the most groceries.
It's a little friendly competition.
Fastest.
Was it really competition?
I think it was.
Well,
really?
In the end, David, no.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Looking forward to seeing who won. Quick look outside. Beautiful clear skies on the way, but we still have some clouds this morning to deal with, and those clouds are going to be with us for a few hours. By noon, the sun will be out. 50 degrees right now in Chattanooga. Just kind of a mild start to the day for the middle of November. A lot of fog heading up into the Blue Ridge Mountains. Be aware of that. Skies clearing. Vipercast showing the clouds parting. Beautiful weather this afternoon with highs in the upper 50s and low 60s and mostly sunny skies. 61 Chattanooga, 57 in Cleveland, and 57 in Blue Ridge. Should be a nice, cool, fall-like week for us. No rain until possibly Saturday morning. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, David, a good dry out. Thank you so much. Take a look at your television screen. Holy macaroni. This is that cargo fire that happened just as the 5 o'clock hour came about. This is Interstate 75 northbound in Bradley County. You can see a vehicle cargo fire at mile marker 18. Not expected right now to be cleared until 7, but the way this looks, it might take a majority of the morning. So again, this is northbound 75 in Bradley County at mile marker 18. Pictures tell you everything you need to know. We're going to keep you updated on this situation as it develops through the morning.
Causing a mess there. Look, cars are able to get around it, but
yeah,
that could change soon. Well, coming up on Eyewitness News today, a stabbing at the Mall of America has left 2 men in the hospital.
Yeah, we're going to have the details on what police say happened coming up after the break.
A suspect is in custody after a stabbing at the Mall of America in Minnesota Sunday night. Bloomington police say they arrested a man inside Macy's. The stabbing happened in the dressing rooms of the men's department. Police say the suspect was attempting to steal another man's belongings.
A theft was interrupted. A suspect went into one of the dressing rooms and attempted to take some property. The owner of the property came in to the dressing room and confronted the suspect. The suspect pulled out a knife, and during the confrontation, the victim was stabbed.
Family members of the victim were able to disarm the suspect, and officers arrived shortly afterward to take him into custody. 2 men were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Alabama nominee for U.S. Senate Roy Moore held a forum in Huntsville last night for questions and answers. This comes after the Washington Post reported accusations that Moore had sexual misconduct with a 14-year-old girl almost 4 decades ago, and that he persuaded 3 other girls ages 16, 17, and 18, pursued when he was in his 30s. Moore has denied those allegations. Alabama, of course, holds a special election in December to fill the Senate seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Much more to come on that. Coming up on Eyewitness News today, well, the holidays are almost here.
42 days until Christmas.
You have this
I'm counting.
Yeah,
all right, American workers could be getting the best present of all. After the break, NBC's Chris Clackham will explain why this holiday hiring season is better than ever. Stay with us. But first, as we go to break, let's take a look at this cute little face. Zeus is a 2-year-old energetic bundle of fun, John, who likes to be on the go.
Yes, Zeus also enjoys playing with other dogs. Come meet this sweet and active hound mix today. Where? At the Humane Educational Society. Zeus.
Good morning. Welcome back to Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Today, we're looking at a few clouds overhead. Might see a little patchy fog here and there, especially in the mountains, but for the most part, pretty nice start to the work week. And the work week is going to be nice, dry all week long. Cool fall temps, especially in the morning. It'll be in the 30s and 40s each and every day after this morning. And we'll stay rain-free until Saturday. Then a cold front looks like it may move through, bring in some warmer air before the front on Thursday and Friday. Rain on Saturday, and then another shot of cool air late Saturday into Sunday. So we'll get to all of that, upper 40s and low 50s. Right now, 50 degrees Cleveland, Chattanooga. A little bit cooler heading up into the Blue Ridge where we do have some patchy fog developing there. Nothing on the radar imagery, but we do have some clouds overhead. Those clouds clear out as we move through the afternoon. And this afternoon will be sunny and very comfortable, seasonably cool with highs in the upper 50s and low 60s. Those northerly winds are going to bring in some much chillier air tonight. We'll drop down into the upper 30s 30s. Temperatures tomorrow morning will be about 10 to 12 degrees below where they are this morning. So at least know where the jacket is. You probably won't need it today, but you certainly will tomorrow and Tuesday morning as well, or Wednesday morning as well, as we drop down into the upper 30s once again. So nice and cool start and nice and comfortable afternoons. And then we have that front approaching Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have some clouds moving in. That front is going to wash out over us and not produce really anything. We're not going to cool down. As a matter of fact, Thursday and Friday, we're going to be warming up a few degrees, and that will set the stage for this front that's going to slide in on Saturday morning. So if you have ball games, whatever, just be watching. Typically when it's this far out, at least the timing on the front will change a bit. But right now, best guess is Saturday morning, and then by noon, it's all gone. Through the afternoon will clear out. So if you have events on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, or Sunday, right now it looks like you're going to be okay, but once again, stay tuned. Today, look for beautiful conditions for whatever you have planned. Mostly sunny, just a nice fall day. 61 for the high. Much cooler tonight under mostly clear skies. We'll drop down to 39 in the city, getting up to 60 in the afternoon, and then we'll stay cool on Wednesday. 39, 59 the temperature range. And then on Thursday, Friday, we warm up a few degrees, getting into the mid-60s, lows in the mid-40s. All of that ahead of our next front, which will slide through on Saturday, bring us a few showers and storms on Saturday morning, and then another cool down as we head into Saturday afternoon and Sunday, going from 65 Friday to 55 on Sunday, and lows dropping back into the mid-30s.
Chilly.
Yeah, good stuff.
Chilly, chilly.
Thanks.
Or cold.
An Auburn University study shows the black bear population has grown in northeast Alabama. A wildlife official says the North Alabama black bear population has more than doubled in the past 4 years. Right now, there are an estimated 30 bears near Fort Payne. Now, the bears migrated from North Georgia.
Well, there's a Christmas present coming for some American workers this year that may be the best present ever. NBC's Chris Clackham explains.
Although the holiday hiring season began a month ago, retailers like Toys R Us, JCPenney, and Kohl's are reportedly still looking for temporary help.
It's certainly a workers' market right now.
Peter Harrison, CEO of Snag-a-Job, an agency that matches hourly workers with employers who need them, and says the news is even better for some seasonal workers this year.
The number of employers who keep people on just keeps growing. This year, 93% of employers in our survey expect to keep workers on.
You have a nice day.
The turning a temporary gig into a full-time position is backed up by research by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, where they're calling this holiday hiring period a 3-month job interview.
The employer, of course, can evaluate the worker, but the worker can also evaluate the job and the opportunity and the commute and everything else.
Harrison says the increased competition for workers is leading to increased wages and other benefits.
Things like food stipends or additional perks, employee discounts.
Pulling out all the stops to hire help for the holidays and beyond. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
With less than 2 weeks to go before Thanksgiving, it's the season for booking those holiday airline tickets. At the peak, more than 2 million people a day will cram into those airline seats. And so here are some tips to avoid the holiday travel blues. According to aviation experts, cheaper flights are most reliable because they usually leave early. And if you can avoid small regional planes, well, the bigger the aircraft, the more passengers, and the less likely the flight will get canceled. So yes, when you take the early plane, it might have a little bit of a delay because they have to fix that plane, but it's going to take off at some point. The later in the day, well, you could get delayed.
So bottom line, just set the alarm clock early.
Yeah, and if you're not, and if you're not traveling with the family, highly recommend one-way tickets each direction.
Smart.
You can save a lot of money that way.
Coming up on Eyewitness News today, President Trump is winding down his tour in Asia.
And his visit to the Philippines comes just after a week after government forces drove ISIS out of a southern island. After the break, NBC's Bill Neely will have more on the continued threat of the terrorist organization.
The president's visit to the Philippines comes just weeks after government forces backed by the United States drove ISIS out of a city in a southern island. NBC's Bill Neely has more on the battle and the continuing threat.
President Trump ending his Asia tour in the Philippines, long a U.S. ally, but relations now strained by its controversial president.
We can survive without American money.
Rodrigo Duterte is the tough-talking leader and a man who's just fought ISIS. Donald Trump wants closer ties on his first visit to any country where ISIS has taken territory and terrorism tops their agenda. Because of this, it's Marawi, or what's left of it. ISIS captured the Philippine city, holding it for 5 months before losing it just weeks ago. More than 500,000 people fled this battle, and you can see why. The destruction here is just astonishing. They look like the war-torn streets of Iraq or Syria, but this was the new front line for ISIS in Asia. Marawi. It took the city with a few hundred men and held it despite daily airstrikes and a ferocious assault from troops backed by US Special Forces. The army retook the city, but only by destroying it. ISIS lost more than 900 fighters in the battles in these streets, yet it's claiming victory because it held this city for so long. The battle here may be over. The threat from ISIS is not. They're still hunting for militants in the ruins. The US and the Philippines determined to stop ISIS spreading further across Asia.
Marawi City liberated.
Presidents Trump and Duterte, who seem to admire each other's record, now united in fighting a common enemy. Bill Neely, NBC News, Marawi, the Philippines.
President Trump is winding down that trip to Asia with a series of meetings in Manila. He attended a regional meeting today at the Pacific Rim nations. He met with the Philippine president and the prime ministers of Japan and Australia discussing trade and North Korea.
The Texas church that was attacked last week during Sunday morning services reopened yesterday as a memorial for the 26 people killed. A construction team put in 72 hours of work around the clock to create this memorial at the Sutherland Springs First Baptist Church. The chairs, pews, and equipment were all removed from the church. A single red rose sits on each of the 26 chairs placed throughout the sanctuary, paying tribute to the victims.
All right, it is 5:26 on this Monday. Coming up on Eyewitness News today.
Starting today, Channel 3 is gearing up for our 33rd annual Share Your Christmas Food Drive. And after the break, Channel 3's Tim Pham will join us in the studio to explain how you can help out. Stay with us.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News Today.
Good morning, Tennessee Valley. You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News Today. I'm Lori Mitchell.
I'm John Martin. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. David Carnes joins us now for a look at today's forecast.
Hey guys.
Hey
Hello.
The weekend was nice. Started a fire. I've got a big stump in my backyard, which has become the focal point of any time I want to just start a fire and go sit by a nice little campfire thing. That's what I do.
Like the stump up.
And so literally